Hello and welcome to another video. We always say that we shouldn't judge people based on how they look, but unfortunately we do that all the time. In fact, in the first 10 to 15 seconds, the person you are dealing with decides whether he or she likes you or trusts you. The first impression that you will give in your job interview, for example, will probably decide whether you will get the job or not. Don't believe me? Have you ever judged a book by its cover? Of course, and that's what we do all the time with people. If they look nice and attractive, we assume that they're good, honest people. Ideally, that's not really right, but there is nothing we can do about it. So why not take advantage out of it? Whether you want to impress someone or make a deal, you can gain their trust by simply giving them a great first impression about yourself. So let's take a look at 5 ways you can do that. The first one is pay attention. We all have been in that situation where we were talking to someone but he or she wasn't really listening to us. They either were busy with their phones or simply were thinking about something else. The question I want to ask you is that, how did that make you feel? I'm sure that you felt like punching him on his face and telling him, listen, I'm freaking talking to you. No matter how smart he was looking, for you he seemed like a douchebag. A lot of people either lack eye contact or simply are not engaged in the conversation, and that makes them look like they are not paying attention, which is a horrible mistake to make, especially when you meet someone for the first time. If you give someone negative opinion about yourself, it's really hard to change that later on, so why not make it right from the first time? The second one is self-confidence. When you talk to people, we usually focus on what we say, but statistically our words only account for 7% of what we say. The other 93% is all about your body language. You can sound as smart as you can, but if you look nervous standing there with your arms crossed and a serious face, you're more likely to show a different image of yourself. Make sure that you smile to a certain extent. Don't cross your arms and let your chest open. Your body language is critical when it comes to the first impression that you are giving. Keep your hands out of the pocket, stand straight with your head up, and that will make you seem more confident, respectful, and attractive. The next one is set the limits. A lot of times when we talk to people, they might use a bad language with us, something that we are not comfortable with. Or when we tell our names, some people might just relate it to something familiar to them and mispronounce it. Most people usually laugh or smile and just let it go, which is a horrible mistake. Of course, you want to seem like a nice person, but you have to let the other person know that there are limits that they cannot cross. Otherwise, you are giving an impression about yourself that you don't mind to be disrespected. You don't have to be aggressive, punch them in the face and tell them to never call like that again, but rather simply tell them with a serious face, I don't like to be called like that, so please spell my name correctly. That will send a direct message that you don't tolerate disrespect, and they will keep respecting you in the future. And if you don't do that, you're opening the door for them to disrespect you even more in the future, and it will be much harder to change it then. The next tip is get rid of Imagine if I will be saying after each phrase. You probably would have already switched to another video because that just sounds boring. Little bit of that is not a big problem, but if you a lot, you might seem little nervous and not confident in yourself. A simple way to stop that is to simply say nothing. If there is nothing you want to say or you're struggling to remember something, just think without opening your mouth at all. Or you can simply fill your sentences with meaningless words. Politicians do that all the time since they have to give a lot of speeches. They just fill their speeches with meaningless phrases just to seem professional and likable. And the last one is appearance. Remember that the first thing that people see in you is how you look or how you're dressed. It has little to do with being attractive or wearing expensive clothes. What matters most is to look clean and nice. Make sure that your clothes fits you and doesn't seem like you have borrowed it from someone who is twice the size of you. Women, for instance, judge men whether they are clean based on how clean their shoes are. You don't have to be in suit 24 hours in order to give a great first impression. What you should be doing instead is to know your audience. The clothes that you are wearing should be suited for the place that you are going. The clothes that you would wear for a job interview would be different than the ones you would wear going to a party to your friend's house. Coming to a party where everyone is dressed casually, it would be a little weird if you're dressed super formal. Here you go. With these 5 tips, you will certainly make a great first impression. Let me know in the comments below which one you like the most and which one do you think is the most important, and let me know if I missed something important. Thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.